Hi, my name's Matthew Zia. I'm directing Dublin Carol here at the Sherman. So Dublin Carol is a play about a man looking backwards at the life he's lived, the regret that life has given him. He's an alcoholic and he's still struggling with alcoholism, but he's found a small kind of safe space to exist in this funeral home. And then he's confronted with his past, ultimately. So I think it's a play that really kind of asks somebody to think about the decisions that they've made, looking back over a 50-year history. But I think the biggest theme that comes out for me is a kind of a male pattern of not being able to articulate oneself emotionally. And so what do you do with all that stuff that you're packing away? Where do you put it? Where does it go? It's a brilliantly human play. It's got rich, complex, nuanced characters trying to find each other and reach each other, but with this gulf of time and action between them, all the things that they've done to each other or not done to each other because of absence. It's funny, it's subtly funny, it's got some dark humor in it, it's quite lyrical, but yeah, it's just such a beautifully written play. And there are so many different access points. You've got a young man kind of at the start of his professional life, looking forward, trying to work out what he should be doing. You've got an older man looking back on his life. You've got this daughter who feels abandoned. It's set in a funeral home, so you've got death and life and respect and dignity. So I think lots of different people are going to find different things that they can take away that mean something special to them.
My name's Simon Wolfe, and I play a character called John Plunkett. Well, John Plunkett is a Dubliner, and he's an assistant funeral director, and he's an alcoholic, although his alcoholism is sort of under control at the moment. It's very difficult to talk about alcoholics because they're always in denial about who they are and what their life has become, basically what they're drinking, because it's such a part of their life. But he's in such denial about himself. I don't really know what to say about him. It's up to people to come and watch it, and people will have their own versions of who they think he is. You know, whether he's just a waste of space, or whether he's a good man, or whether he's a flawed man. He's a sort of anti-hero. He's basically good. There aren't any bad people in the play. I think the thing with all of Connor's plays is that nobody's beyond redemption, even if they have a bad past, you know. But there's still hope there that somebody can make something of their life, you know. Even though there are some heavy moments in the play, it's very funny. Sometimes in the darkest of places there is amazing humour. I think that's a very Celtic thing as well, even though, you know, it applies to Wales as well as Ireland. Even though in the midst of despair, you know, like at a funeral, sometimes it can be incredibly funny. Just, you know, you need to laugh sometimes just to release the pressure valve.
I'm Shuan and I'm playing Mary. She's a very honest, loving, protective and tired person. I think the play will offer the audiences an experience of an amusing tale at times, but with a very sad and revealing edge of alcoholism on the individual and those around them. I've loved the rehearsal process. We've done a lot of research that first week around the table, you know, just filling in the gaps, looking at the history of Dublin at that time. It's just been very informative, you know, just kind of absorbing it. And we still are, really. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. Looking down different avenues and researching the characters. A really kind of a richness, but a richness to the story and to the characters before we actually even got up to begin working on the piece.
My name's Julian Moore-Cook and I'm playing Mark in Dublin Carol. He's a young man from Dublin, 20 years old. He's at the start of his life, a bit lost, as I'm sure a lot of us have been at that age, not knowing what to do. So Mark is in working with John, who's an undertaker. He's here for just a couple of days helping him out while his uncle, who owns the funeral home, is away sick. So he's just met John, really, and the relationship blossoms. I think it's got lots to offer, from regret, toxic masculinity, alcoholism, you know, strained family relationships. There's a whole abundance of themes in there that people can take from. Other than the work, which has been fantastic. I like the way Matthew works. You know, he's a brilliant director. It's been great working with him. He works in the way that I like to work. So we've been like ripping apart the text, getting to know the characters. Shuan and Simon as well are both fantastic, experienced actors, and I've been learning from them so much. So it's been really good being in a rehearsal room with them.
you live with the play for so long in your own head. And so I'm really enjoying sharing the process of making with the actors, and I think a really incredible company. The speed at which they deliver or have ideas and then make those ideas manifest up here on the stage. It amazes me every time. Really enjoyed getting to know Rachel, the artistic director. I've enjoyed the teams, many different teams that all have to feed into making and selling a production. The wardrobe department, the production department, the marketing teams here who are coming up with great ideas. Yeah, it's all of those component parts, I think, that go into making hopefully a really engaging night in the theatre.